They didn't get home until gone 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, mad.
That's some shift, that.
And they brought on their left back with 20 minutes to go, and he scored that trick.
Really?
Won the game 3-1. Yeah. Right.
I hope he got a start in the next game then.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know if he did or not. I've got to go in and have a look.
Hope he got a goal bonus as well.
Yeah.
2 free kicks like Declan Rice as well. I mean,
Yeah.
quality free kicks, 2 of them. Right. This just quickly go into. So I've got people knocking at the door now as well. I think it's because my little nephew's 3rd birthday today. Right. Just give me a couple of minutes just to do this. So I've literally got no one to do it. I'm like James, a one-man team. That's what it is.
It's hard work, that, James, isn't it?
Yeah.
15 years of doing it on me, Jack. Like, do you know what I mean? Was that fire anywhere near the ground? Was that the big fire that was up in Whittam during the week?
That was a Friday, I think it was. It happened, but I think it's cleared up now. I think.
I didn't even know there was a fire. Was it near the ground, James? Was it, or was it quite far away?
It was fairly near the station because I was in the middle of doing my power walk back from Coggeshall back to Whittam, and I thought, what was that smoke?
Yeah.
I just kept on with my power walking without even rowing, so I just kept it going and never stopped until I get back to Whittam. Yeah. So I just focused on my power walk.
Yeah, nice, mate.
Remember once when I had a youth team and there was a chemical fire in Potter's Bar, and we were playing at Potter's Bar. And it was an 11 o'clock kickoff, and it was literally as if it was about 11 o'clock at night. It was black.
Yeah.
The sky was literally completely black, and the referee said, "No," he said, "We'll play it." He said, "Because there's no smoke around here." He said, "It's just." I said, "Mate, you're having a laugh, aren't you?" Right.
Get the floodlights on for the old for the junior games.
Don't get me wrong, I was quite happy. We won 4-3, which won us the league, but it was a nightmare. Sorry, just literally won't be a second. Just all the groups that I put it out to are never all together. They're always when you go into it, all over the place. I said it's been a big change of manager, isn't there? Billericay.
Yeah.
Quite surprised at that, to be honest. But
yes, it's early, isn't it? It's early to.
Yeah, Dan Scopes has gone in there, hasn't he?
Yeah.
For who's played a bit Aveley and Concord Rangers, so they're not messing about, and they've nicked the head recruitment guy as well for
Adam Drew in it from Chelmsford.
Yeah.
I think it's a good appointment, but I just think it's so early in the season, isn't it? But they done well last year, didn't they? I think they missed out by a goal difference, wasn't it? Was it?
Yeah, they did, yeah.
On the final day.
Yeah.
Horrendous. Yeah. Right. Give me a second then. It's going. Remember to do it today. Well, welcome to the Reposs non-league show, and we're back again this week, and really pleased to say we've got literally a host of guests with us tonight, which is really pleasing. So let's introduce you to them. So we've got, first of all, top of the shop, we've got Mark, of course, who's the manager down at Melsham Town. How are you, sir?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Thanks for having me on.
No problems whatsoever. And of course, down at it as well, we've got from Whittam, we've got the 2 Ryans, got Kevin, and we've got, of course, the living legend himself, Mr. James Beardwell. So welcome, guys.
Hello, you all right?
Thanks for having us, mate. Appreciate it.
And of course, we wish you all the best for the season, Whittam, except for tomorrow night, and then the rest of the time you can do what you want, yeah? It'll be a good game tomorrow night, whatever happens, because of course we two have got Waltham Abbey tomorrow night down at just well from where I sit, probably about I don't know, a 5 minute walk from where I sit tomorrow night. So that'll be a cracking game. But I suppose one thing I was asking before we go into the individual clubs, I mean, any surprises?
Hello?
Any surprises for you over the weekend? Oh, you know, scores wise, Mark. Anything from your round your way?
Not really. I still think it's early days yet, really. You know, there's just some teams that you think could possibly do particularly well that haven't started that well. We're one of them ourselves. So yeah, I'm quite calm about it, or really wait and see if the season unfolds. So no real big shocks for me at this moment in time.
Was you quite glad you weren't Truro at the weekend?
At Truro?
No, I said, was you glad you weren't Truro manager at the weekend?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, from me to Truro is 4 hours, and I've been there more than enough times when I was at Chippenham, so I know what a journey is. And we have a 7.5 hour journey ourselves round trip when we go to a club called Mousehole, which is off the end of the court. Yeah. So I know what all that's about. But Truro to Carlisle is just unbelievable. I'm told that Gateshead's even further.
Oh, it's just horrendous.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Kevin, would you like that? Nice trip up to Carlisle from Truro?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Well, no, I wouldn't fancy that in midweek, that's for certain.
That must be horrific. I know speaking to the Mousehole boys when they say they travel, you know, they travelled last year to Didcot, you know, stuff like that, and they were looking at two, you know, they were saying they needed two coach drivers because of the journey was so long. And I know they nearly did. I think last year, I think when the chairman or the standing chairman he's at the moment turned around and said they did almost 9,000 miles last year just to away games in the league.
Well, we went to Mousehole and the club paid for us to go on the Friday evening. We got there on the Friday evening, which was all fine. Lads were having some food and woke up the next morning. The rain and the wind's beating against the windows. Get to the ground about 1 o'clock and it's been called off. So, which basically means we drive all the way home, get all the way home, and have to go back on a Tuesday night.
Yeah.
So we go back on the Tuesday night, literally 4 or 5 weeks later. And we get there, lads are out warming up. The referee calls me in, can I have a quick word? So I pop in the dressing room, speak to him. The floodlights have failed from the storm the previous night. So the kickoff's going to be delayed till 8:30. And when you're 5 hours away from home, it's the last thing you want is an 8:30 kickoff. But we did get it in the end. But yeah, Mousehole away is a nightmare, certainly on a Tuesday night.
Yeah, not to take you fancy. I must admit, I've been down there a few times. Nice people down there, but it is a bit of a slog. We was only down there just went to Helston actually. In April. It was quite nice. But Mark, if we start off with Motion, I mean, talk to us a little bit about the club and tell us a little bit about it, because it's probably going to be, you know, many people that are living around that local area don't know too much about the club. So a little bit about the club in general.
Yeah, I mean, they're in Southern League Southwest or South. A relatively new ground, 8 years old, great stadium, fantastic playing surface. One of certainly the best in the league, I would imagine. I think it is. And a big youth setup, lots of members from under sixes right through to ladies teams and vets teams, reserves team, development team. Quite well supported, 400 or 500 most weeks. And a club that could go anywhere really due to the infrastructure that's in place, but the club want to grow organically and do it properly. So as much as I'm always onto the chairman, can we have some more money? Can I have this? Can we have that? It's no, not yet, not yet. So it's just a case of being patient really. The league's quite well financed. And credit to those clubs who are well financed. You know, we do okay, but we're not certainly one of the big hitters. So you have to beg, borrow, and steal, and try and get loan players in from clubs. You know, we're surrounded by some bigger clubs with Bath City, Chippenham Town, Swindon Supermarine, Frome. So you know, they're all slightly bigger clubs than us and slightly a bit more pulling power due to their finances, really.
And is it one of those, you know, we start this year? I mean, has it been a bit more of a difficult start for you than you was imagining?
Yeah, in all fairness, we've been hit with some key injuries to some key players. And of course, when those key players are contract players and they're sat in the stand and they're taking their wage, which is part of the game, I understand that. So that's hit us particularly hard. We've got 3 players currently all out injured. We've had a couple of suspensions, one from last year, one from this season. So if I was to say have I picked my best 14 yet, I'd certainly be saying no, I haven't. So yeah, the start's been a little bit fragmented to say the least, but there's been circumstances for it really, which the directors understand that, and I understand that as well. So it's just a case of just trying to get through this little sticky patch over the next couple of weeks, and then hopefully we can regroup, get people back, and then push on to where we want to be really.
You've only had what is it, two league games at home so far this season. I mean, you've had a real run of away fixtures in Larkhall, Malvern, Portishead, and now Bideford at the weekend as well.
Yeah, exactly. So we're not home now until the 26th or something of September, I think. Falmouth at home, then we play on the Monday night against Didcot as well. So it's a little double header on the Monday and on the Saturday and the Monday. But yeah, we pride ourselves on our home form. Last year we did okay away from home. So yeah, it's, as I say, it's been a difficult start. The spirit's good in the camp, which is important when you've lost a couple of games. However, it's clear that we run a relatively small squad, so you need your big players playing week in, week out, and being available. And unfortunately for me and for them as well, and most of the club, that the injuries have caught up with us very early in the season.
And I mean, it's only early doors, but even though you've not had the start maybe that you wanted, you're still not that far away from it, or are you? Not sort of.
Oh no, no, absolutely. And I think the league appears to be quite strong. I don't think there'll be anyone who really runs away with it. Maybe Bishop's Cleaver is certainly very well financed; they could possibly do so. But I think anyone else could beat anybody else. So. Need to get ourselves on a little run, and you go and win 4 or 5, then it's certainly just race up the table. We're more than capable of doing that, but as I say, we need our squad to be at full strength for that to happen. I think without that, then we're calling on young players who as the other lads will know, will come in and do a good job for a couple of weeks, but for a longer period of time, it doesn't really happen for them. So yeah, we understand where we are. We're in a good league. It's a competitive league. We enjoy being in it, but we're disappointed with the start, but we know we can certainly do better, and I expect us to when we get what I would say our bigger guns back.
And you got Bideford as we said at the weekend, and they haven't had a great start themselves. But I mean, it's. I always think Bideford. I've not been there, but it's one of those ones that when for the goal show, when I get the goal sent through to me, it's always one of those sort of iconic grounds. It seems like it's got behind one goal, it's got like a petrol garage in one corner, and it's got looks like a hotel, whether it is or not, I'm not too sure.
Behind it's a block of flats. Yeah,
it's really sort of looks like a really iconic ground at one end.
Yeah, it's a very old style ground with the 4 massive floodlights in each corner, like the old pylons. So yeah, it's an old fashioned ground right in the middle of Bideford. So yeah, they haven't started the league particularly well. They've done well in the cup. In fact, they beat Mousehole 3-1 on Saturday, I think it was 3-1. So they'll be in good spirits waiting for us. We played them twice there last year, once in the cup and once in the league. And I think we drew 1 and won 1. So we don't mind going there. It's not the worst journey for us. I think it's a 9:30 leave in the morning, so we do have longer ones than that. But we'll take quite a few supporters there and look forward to going there. But Joyce has been there a long time. He's ex-Torquay player, and I think he's been there like 18, 19 seasons. So if you need to know anything about Bideford, he's your man.
But I mean, it's one of those things you say. I mean, you say how sort of close you think your league's going to be, and I think you just brought up the Mousehole situation there, because that's quite funny. That's happened twice where they beat Brixham, and then they played them. I don't know if that was a league game or a cup game, and then they played them on the following week and lost.
Yes,
I lost that. Then they played, as you just said, they played Bideford. They beat them in one game. I think it was a game, whatever, and then lost them again. They played them like back to back, both teams, and end up getting win 1 and lose 1, which is a strange.
Yeah, it is, mate. Yeah, so it's difficult really, because we'll plan ourselves to go there and we'll get there and they'll have maybe possibly 2 or 3 or 4 different than what we thought. But hopefully they're full strength. We'll be as good as we possibly can. But yeah, as I say, I think is that going to be that kind of league where you're going to go and win 1, maybe not win 1, draw 1, and a team that can go on an elongated run will do particularly well, I think. So that has to be our aim. But at the moment in time, as I said earlier, there's so many mixed results. One week they're particularly good. I think Willand, for instance, another Devon-based team, lose 8-0 to Hartbury. And then this week in the trophy, they draw 0-0 with Bishop's Cleeve, who are flying in the league. And I think they lost on penalties in the end. But it just shows they come back from an 8-0. Then their next round draw is against the team who's top of the league. And they get a 0-0 draw and unluckily go out on penalties. So I think you just got to go and try and perform on the day and see where it takes you.
Did you have a look at this year when your Mauser away fixture was, thinking, please don't make it be November, December, January or February?
Yeah, exactly. That's the one we look at. I mean, I presume all the other lads as well look at their Boxing Day and their local games as well. But we do look at that one. But we go to Falmouth as well. Brixham, they're all Devon, Cornwall based, and I think you mentioned earlier about having 2 coach drivers. That's what happens to us when we go to Mousehole. We have to have 2 coach drivers. The drivers need their breaks. So yeah, it's to say it's a long day is an understatement.
Is that Good Friday you take them on? Third.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is a Good Friday. Yeah. Bank holiday traffic.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, with it though. I mean, how long yourself have you been at the club?
This will be my 3rd full season. Third full season. Prior to that, I was at Chippenham Town for 7 years. Prior to that, I was at Swindon Supermarine. Prior to that, I was at the Swindon Town Academy. So I've done nearly over 830 odd games now at this level and above. So yeah, I've seen quite a lot of it and heard quite a lot of it, as you can imagine.
So is that Swindon Supermarine game one of the ones you're looking forward to this year? Yeah,
I've still got a lot of friends there, and I actually live 5 miles away from the ground, so I know what goes on there. So yeah, I look forward to that one. Plus the fact is it only takes me, as I say, 10 minutes to get there. So like that was the real home game for me, that one. So yeah, we'll look forward to that one, certainly.
Is that sort of lads? I'll meet you there. You get on the coach from where you are, and I'm just going to jump in my new car and walk down.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, there's a Swindon car, so those lads will be happy as well because they'll just make their way to the ground. But yeah, that is the closest one for me. So got, as I say, lots of friends still at Supermarine and at Chippenham Town, so you never lose that really.
So are you close to getting some of your contracted players back?
Yeah, well, I think we're like a couple of weeks away, really, in all fairness. I think 3 of them, or definitely 2 of them, will miss out this weekend at Bideford. Hopefully, we've maybe strengthened up with a couple more coming in this week. Speaking to a couple of clubs about, just taking some loans off of Swindon Town and somewhere else as well. So hopefully we can strengthen ourselves up a little bit. We need to. But as the other lads will know, it's not always easy to do that. You think you've cracked it, and then the next minute they can't play because someone's injured because of this, because of that. So yeah, we'll just wait and see. But I'm hopeful that we'll certainly within the next 2 weeks we'll be back to where we want to be.
I suppose one question would be interesting for yourself as manager, and of course also from Kevin as well. I was talking to a manager yesterday, and he was saying to me how he's got professional clubs sniffing around different players and stuff like this. If you get into that situation where, say, I don't know, say Swindon starts seeing one of your players or whatever, how tempted are you then as managers or coaches or to actually maybe get hold of that player and say, look, I'm going to stick that player on a contract because there might be, you might be able to make a little bit of money for the club and having that sort of conversation?
Yeah, I mean, there is that tendency to try and do that, but I think most of the players know what's going on, in all fairness. They get a little sneak of what's going on. We had a young lad last year playing for us who's only 16, and he's just signed a 2-year deal at Swindon Town, so we couldn't do anything about that. And I know I'd always like to think that I say to a player, if Swindon Town came in for me, I'd like to think the club would just let me go. So I'd try and be fair with the players if I can. The contracted players, if they get picked up, so be it. But if we've got any really good young players and they don't want to be on a contract, and I can see the reasons they don't want to be, then I just have to accept that and move on, really. But if we can help the player and they can help us, then I'm quite happy to accept that. And when I was at Chippenham in the Conference South, it's so much easier to get contract players then, because you can reward them financially. It's worth them being on a contract. But in the division we're in, sometimes when you're not paying players a great amount of money, it's difficult to say to them, "Right, I want you to sign a contract for X amount of pounds," and if it's not really worth them doing, why would they?
Kevin, at Witton, would you do the same?
What's that? Sorry.
So would you do the same at Witton around if you got a player there and you know you got both the Ryans there, one of them sniffing around one of your players or whatever else, all of a sudden, you're thinking to yourself, well, maybe it might be worth sticking them on a contract just to maybe get some money out of it, or
Yeah, we did. There was a possibility last year, obviously, when we had Josh with us, and there was talks, but unfortunately, we're just probably not in that position to take a gamble on contracted players at the club at this moment in time. So, bit of a shame, but yeah, it's just one of them things, really.
do you get a lot of it though? I mean, is it annoying? I spoke to the Wolf Abbey manager last night. He was saying that that basically it's a nightmare. One of the worst things as a manager, etc. etc. He's down to the fact you start a season, you're doing really well, and your players doing really well, and someone's banging in goals here, or someone's keeping them out at the other end, and you look and think, oh, I might make the playoffs here, I might make the playoffs, or win the league automatically, and then all of a sudden someone comes in and goes, right, I'll have him, and I'll have him, and you're getting 7-day approaches all over the place, or professional clubs just walking in.
Yeah, I mean, last season we had a real good season, and I think there was probably only a couple of boys that we had 7 days in, which is unbelievable, really, with the season that we had last season. But yeah, the group. It was only like Josh, obviously, when we had him, and a couple of the other forward players that really we had approaches for. Apart from that, we didn't really get many 7 days for any other players, which, like I say, is quite surprising. Obviously, on how well we done last season.
Mm. James, any players that you want to see Kevin and Gary put on contract?
We got a lot of good players for Whitton Town, and like Ryan Mallet, who is the new club captain for Whitton Town, he's shown a lot of commitment and leadership in the Whitton Town team. That's what we love to see. But we have got a good team for Whitton Town this season, because we're trying to challenge for the playoffs this season. But I know last season we just missed out on the playoffs. We was gutted, but it was a great season last season. But now we just got to focus on this season and try and get in that playoff places.
Ryan, Mr. Captain, then he's giving you glowing praise there.
Yeah, cheers, James.
That's all right.
Yeah, I think just like Kev said, obviously not something I would get too much involved with, but I think had we have the luxury of that at the club, I'm sure there's probably a few that Kev would offer that to and try and keep hold of. We've got a few good young players, so yeah, I'm sure had the club been in a position, then we'd probably try and tie a few down. But yeah, like you say, circumstances are different at all clubs, aren't they? So we just hope that we have a good enough season. If teams do come sniffing around any one of us, we want to be here. That's all you can hope for, really. So yeah.
I mean, a team in your league, was you really surprised at the result from Malden and Tiptree at the weekend?
Yeah, no, I don't know. It's a weird one, isn't it? They've got obviously, it's quite well documented. Everyone knows they've got, the biggest budget in the league, there's no doubt, probably by some distance. I think, naturally with that, people expect that they're going to run away with sort of every game. But like Mark was saying there, it's non-league that's the beauty of non-league, right? You never know. Everyone can beat everyone. Some people, especially in our league, would expect Malden to run away with it, but we know within ourselves in our group, and we fancy ourselves to go there, and when they come to us to give them a good game and hopefully take some points off of them. And so yeah, listen, everyone's gonna lose games of football. Everyone's gonna win games, and that's the beauty of non-league. There's always the odd surprise package floating up every now and then in there. So yeah.
Is it Whittam this year?
Hopefully us.
Yeah.
Go on, Ryan. You think you confident?
Why not?
Yeah.
Got a good group. Pre-season's gone well. Why not?
Yeah.
Got to aim high, ain't you, Dave?
Oh, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. I mean, are you looking forward to tomorrow night?
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Yeah, no, I can't wait, to be honest. It'll be good. But going back to what you were saying a minute ago about like ideally with the clubs and the players with the contract situation, you'd like it ultimately to work out well for both, wouldn't you?
Mm.
If you could. But
Yeah.
it was not always an ideal world, is it? So
Yeah, I mean, the situation was, I think it was not last year before, or the end of that season, the early part of the season, and his name's going to bug me now. I can't think of the striker at Enfield Town. You know, got to the stage, got him to promotion, then got moved into went to Gillingham, was picked up by Gillingham, and funny enough, Mark, he's actually at Swindon at the minute. And he was picked up. He's now gone down to Swindon, but
Is it still at Amersham?
Mohamedou Fowl?
no, it's
Was it Amersham Town?
No, yeah, no, he went from Enfield Town. He went to oh dear, he's going to kill me because I can't remember what his name is. But yeah,
Gillingham, yeah.
he went from Enfield Town to Gillingham, went out on loan somewhere, and now he's actually at Swindon Town. So he's down at Swindon. Whether he's played,
Right.
I'm not sure, but you know, but that bit what you were saying, you know, then all of a sudden going into that Vanarama South last year, it sort of derailed them straight away because you know you've got somebody that's scoring out 30 odd goals, and all of a sudden he's just gone. You know what I mean?
Very
But
hard to replace.
yeah, but you're
They're hard
trying
to
to
come by anyway.
because you want to see the player succeed.
Of course.
Hmm.
Of course. No, they're like gold dust, to be honest.
Hmm.
If you could find them.
It's gonna bug me now. I'm gonna try and find out what his name is now.
Yeah, you need to find. It's bugging me. I was going to get my phone up then.
Well, while he's been, I've got my phone up now just to see whether or not he's played a game for Swindon this year. I'm not sure if he has or not. But if there's any Enfield Town fans on there, they'd be screaming at the computer probably, just saying, "Dave, you're an idiot. Why is it? You know, why have we not said who it is?" But it's gonna bug me now. You bet your life he's going to be on the bench or something, or he's on loan somewhere or whatever. But I'll find it out. But before we finish. But yeah, I mean, but with it though, I mean,
Marcus Willie.
that's the one, Marcus Wiley. That's the one, Wiley. Yeah. So Marcus Wiley went to and went there. I think he's now at Swindon. So, Mark, if he's not playing, mate, might be worth getting a hold of him.
Yeah, I mean, we you know, I've got a relationship with Ian Holloway, but it's really for the younger players. You know,
He's only a young man. He's only a young man as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a young man. Only early 20s.
In the past as well, Swindon Town, maybe prior to Ian Holloway, have always wanted the players' full wage.
Yeah.
As well, which has not really gone down too well. That's when you're giving them football as well. So, but you know, we're hoping to sign a younger one this week if we possibly can. But he certainly won't be on any big money there. So we'll come to some agreement with the club on that one, hopefully.
But I mean, lads, at the weekend, of course, as well from Whittam, of course, you had cup game as well, and tough cup game as well. It wasn't an easy one by any means of the fact, but came away with a win on penalties. I mean, what was that actually like, Kev?
Yeah, it was a tough game. Like I say, they've started off really well as well as ourselves, and we knew we was going to be in for a tough game. And yeah, I think we probably done enough possibly to win the game in 90 minutes. But yeah, I think all the boys took their penalties well, and yeah, we go through to the next round. More importantly, so yeah, we was happy. Like I say, we said last Thursday at training, it's a tough week this week. So we just take one game at a time, and Saturday's done. We're through to that now. And then we look ahead to tomorrow, and then obviously on to the FA Cup game on Saturday. So a real tough week for us. But yeah, I was happy with the result and the performance on Saturday. And yeah, the boys done well.
Who did you get, Kev?
What, in the trophy?
Trophy.
We drew Cambridge City away.
Oof.
So yeah, for us, it's a decent draw, and for sure we go there full of confidence and be looking to win and go further in the competition. So yeah, we're quite happy with the draw, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with these draws because I spoke to him, and I don't know if you find this happening to you, Mark, in your area, and Kevin as well. But when these cup draws come out, although especially the FA Cup draw, you get like a South draw, don't you? And you get a North draw. But do you feel that there's maybe a South Group A, South Group B, South Group C? You get pulled, you don't get pulled like, say, for instance, I don't know, if Melsham are in the South, you don't get pulled against Mousel. you'll get pulled against somebody like Swindon Supermarine or something
Yeah, absolutely.
quite close. Do you think that as well, Kev?
Yeah, it seems to go a bit like that. So yeah, they keep it quite regionalised. So yeah, well, it's not a too bad journey to Cambridge for us in the trophy. So yeah.
Well, Wolfram Abbey, after I said that to the Wolfram Abbey manager 2 weeks ago, they got Galston in in the FA Cup and Lowestoft in the trophy. So, although he was quite pleased, he ended up getting to a situation where because they won the last round, they got Galston Saturday, but of course they should have been at Wroxham.
Hmm.
So they've got to go to
Tuesday night,
Wroxham on a Tuesday night.
Oh, yeah.
It's horrible.
And the funniest thing about it all was when Harlow were in the actual North League, the Wroxham's closest team to them was the likes of, I think at the time, was Dereham and Norwich United.
Norwich United, yeah.
Time. But the next nearest one to them was Harlow. So basically, what ended up happening every season was the first away game of the season for either Harlow or Wroxham was Harlow or Wroxham, and you'd end up going up there on a Tuesday night, on the second game of the season, up to Norfolk on a Tuesday night, and it was been horrendous place, but to actually get up to. So of course he's hoping that they don't get a draw against Galston and have to go down there on a Tuesday night as well.
It's even worse when you go out there and get sent off, Dave.
Well, I don't know if you know Ali from Cray Wanderers, who used to be at Barking and all that physio.
Yeah.
She drove all the way up there and they get Dereham, and the game got called off.
Oh,
As literally as they were warming up on the pitch, they were off. So a little bit what Mark was saying with his floodlights and being down at Mousehole. Yeah, she actually got sent off there. But I mean, Kevin, beginning of the season, was you expecting? What was the plan? Was the plan playoffs this year, because in all fairness, I don't mean it's the way this is going to sound, but surely not many teams in the North Division this year with big spenders, more than Tiptree, are looking at it and going, well, look, we're going to go and try and win it. We're going to, I understand that's the attitude at the beginning of the season, but realistically,
Yeah, well, like I said, we just missed out on the playoffs last season. And then we got a few additions, and it's always been to the group that playoffs is what we want this season. So it has actually been that from the word go. And like I say, we've started well. We've lost 1 in 9. So on form, we're doing all right. We're doing things that we need to be doing. Like I say, it's a very young group, apart from Ryan. And he keeps the boys on their toes. And yeah, it's good. It's good. Like I say, there's a real good feel factor around the club. And like I say,
a real tight-knit group, isn't it, Kev? That's the thing this year. It's a real tight-knit group. Everyone's sort of singing off the same hymn sheet as well, aren't they? So definitely helps.
Like I say, it's really tough competition for places, and yeah, it's going to give us a few headaches over the next month or so for sure. But yeah, like I say, we have sat down and said that the playoffs where we want to be. We know there's obviously big hitters around us. And like I say, the teams like Wolfram Abbey, Felixstowe, Malden, but I feel we can break into it with the group. Obviously, they learn a lot from last year of just missing out, and hopefully that hunger and determination will spear them on this season, and just to try and get over the line. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty confident that we can definitely have a go. We can definitely be in the mix, and we know on our day we can beat anyone in the division. We showed that last season. And it's exactly the same this season, that we definitely think that we can definitely mix it. And the boys are taking it on board, and yeah, they're doing well. They're doing well.
How much pressure do you three guys feel? Most Saturdays when you've got someone like James standing on the touchline and he's going to do his half-time chats, and you've made a mistake, and I mean, he gives it to you, doesn't he? He don't care. He'll give it to you. He's passionate. He'll tell you.
Yeah, I mean, James is great. I mean, I've not heard many bad things on myself, but yeah, he does let people know when they're not quite at it, and rightly so. He's great for the club, and like I say, he's realistic in what he says, and yeah, you can't get any more in his honesty. So yeah.
Mark, have you got a super fan at your club?
Yeah, we've got quite a few really, and they're always keen to tell me what they think. Yeah. Sometimes it's quite enjoyable going to the bar, and sometimes it's the worst nightmare. But and social media doesn't help either as well, because you could come home and see anything there on a Saturday night and think, oh my God, what is going to be said now? So yeah, I think it just comes with the territory. Really, just got to get on with it and put up with it. I'm not so keen on the situation where clubs have forums and people just go on and assume names and can say what they want and do what they want. So that makes it a little bit difficult. But, I think most people realise that we're trying to do a good job the best we possibly can. And, we just have to get on with it and take the good with the bad, really.
And of course, James, you're probably the most famous fan in non-league football. I think that's probably quite. And I mean, he's still doing it and still enjoying it.
Sorry?
I said you're probably one of the most famous fans in non-league, and I mean, you go to every single game. Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, I really enjoy it. I go to like every single games of Whitman Town, home and away, and I really enjoy doing the Whitman Town fan interviews. I interview fellow Whitman Town supporters like Callum, Paul, Sam, Leon, Ben, and Connor at the Whitman Town matches. They're real fellow Whitman Town supporters who go to the matches, and I give them the pre-match thoughts, half-time thoughts, and full-time thoughts to share our thoughts and our opinions about our club, Whitman Town, that we support. And I'm proudly, being the Whitman Town fan presenter, to give real fellow Whitman Town supporters to have their say on the match days and what we love about the club. And it gives ordinary fans a big voice for our club, Whitman Town, we support.
I mean, tell us about some of your favourite moments so far this season.
My favourite moment so far this season is going on a really good FA Cup run so far, and I'm looking forward to the next match away to Moldbarton Wanderers on Saturday, which I'm looking forward to. And it's the most important one away to Moldbarton Wanderers, and we want to get a win there and try and go on that long FA Cup run. And just like I said to the fellow Whitman Town supporters who I interview on the match days, because our aim is to try and go on that long FA Cup run, to try the first round proper for the first time, because I know it's a tough competition, and of course the famous FA Cup competition, because we're going to try and go far as possible and try and get into that first round proper.
And of course, if you get that first round proper, and your game gets picked, you're going to be on the TV, aren't you? Surely. You're on the BBC. I'll be interviewing the famous James Beardwell on the TV.
On TNT Sports, hopefully, James?
Hey?
We'll get him on TNT Sports, mate. We'll get you on live on TV, mate?
That'll be brilliant.
Definitely.
But Ryan, yourself, though, I mean, with the Abbey game at the weekend, it's going to be, is it a special one for you?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. It's nice to get back over there, see some old faces. Being an Abbey boy and that, it's really nice to get back over there, to be honest. I made my debut actually at 16 for the Abbey, going back a number of years now, when Bobby Ballard was manager.
How many years is that, Ryan? Sorry, mate.
Oh, I don't want to talk about it.
was that when the pitch was like was like Brighton Beach?
God, not half. Yeah, that far corner, you'd lose your football boat in the winter. It was very, very heavy in that far corner. Nothing like what it is now. The pitch is, I mean, credit to John and the lot over at the Abbey, what they've done over there. Unbelievable. The pitch is probably the best about, bar probably Takeley in the league. There ain't going to be many better than that. So there's no excuse not to play football on that tomorrow night, that's for sure.
Well, Mark, just in case you don't know, we'll fill you in, Mark, because you've probably not been to Waltham Abbey's pitch, but Waltham Abbey's pitch literally used to be like, quicksand and a beach.
Yeah.
It made difference what time of the year it was. It could be August, it could be April. It was an absolute abysmal all the time. And the turnaround that the new chairman has done is second to none. The pitch, I go past it every day to go to work, and it literally looks like a 4G pitch when you go past it. absolutely immaculate, and he deserves all the credit he can get because what how he's turned that pitch and basically the surroundings as well.
Yeah.
In the car park when you used to lose your car going down a pothole, going in there, going in to watch it.
Yeah.
It's now an incredible car
Yeah.
park. Everything he's done such an incredible job over there, and I suppose he's saying putting his money where his mouth is.
Yeah, I think that's important as well. I mean, it's easy for the manager to say, "I just want everything for the playing budget," but the infrastructure of the club has to be decent. And there's nothing worse than highly paid players, and you've got the worst pitch, the worst dressing rooms, cold showers, nothing's being done in the bar area, and it's just a rubbish place to go. So I'm always a bit sceptical about that. I think that the club has to be first, and the team has to be behind the club. If you understand where I'm coming from on that, I think once the team overtakes the club, you're in trouble. So I think the club should be at the top, and the team should be trying to catch that all the time. So credit to the clubs that look after their facilities and want to have a good playing surface and look after their supporters and make it a safe environment for everybody, really, because I think that's just as important as paying the players who, in all fairness, are quite mercenary about it.
I was saying yesterday, and I'll say it again today. Tomorrow's game between Whittam and the Abbey is a really, really big game. When you look at it, I mean, what you're one position apart in the league, you're one position apart in the form guide, both really flying at the minute, and it is going to be something to enjoy tomorrow night. And I mean, how many Whittam fans do you think will be going over there, Kev?
There'll be a few. Yeah, there's always a decent enough following for away games. Tuesday night, obviously, sometimes a little bit difficult for some of them, but yeah, we have a decent support. And yeah, last year we beat you at home and we lost at your place, so it was even last year. And like I say, we're coming here tomorrow to cause an upset, mate, and that's as much as I can give away at the minute.
But wasn't that the game was that the one where Louis Spence scored the absolute thunderbolt?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
35, 40 yards, I think, off the top of my head.
But I don't know if you know the story behind it, because I was sitting in the stand. It was only about the second or third game I'd gone down to watch again, and there's a friend of mine sitting there with a referee that used to referee youth matches for Wolfman. We were just sitting there, and he was talking. And he said, "Who's this bloke, Louis Spence?" I said, "Look, he was the captain for Hornchurch, picked up the FA Trophy, etc., etc." I said, "Like, and he's a really, really good player." Just as I said that, he did what he did against you. And I said, "By the way," I said, "that's Louis Spence." It was quite funny how we just finished the conversation, and he's pinged one in that top corner. But is it a situation going to the Abbey, knowing what a good pitch that is?
Yeah, like I say, the boys are really looking forward to it. Like we've got a lot of young players who are keen to get the ball down and play, and sometimes at our home pitch we've not had the best of surfaces due to the weather, and like with the water that we can get onto the pitch, they've tried immensely hard to make it as best they can, but obviously the Abbey's pitch is second to none. So the boys can't wait to get there tomorrow night. So yeah, they're really looking forward to it, and like I say, confidence and looking to cause an upset, that's for sure.
I mean, is there games that you look at every year and go, when the fixture list comes out, is there fixtures there that you look at and go, where's this one? Is there for you, is there one or two fixtures that you look at and get excited about to see when they're going on?
Nah, not myself really. Just look at one game at a time and just go from there. Really, there's not really. Obviously, there'll be a lot of people wanting to get Malden under their belt and beat them. I'd probably say if there is any, it would be Malden. But like I say, they've got a target on their back, and everyone would want a piece of it. So yeah, it's probably, if I had to choose one, it probably would be Malden.
What about the two Ryans?
You don't need to ask me, Dave. Tomorrow night is the first one I looked at, mate.
I think, for me, similar to Kev, really, to be fair. I think the Malden one, Cambridge for me as well. Not really too sure what it is for me. I've never played I've not played at Cambridge's new ground. Obviously seen some photos and stuff like that. Looks like a good surface, a nice stadium. Got a couple of lads there that I know that play for them that are friends. So that's one that, I'm obviously when the draw come out and we got them away. Looking forward to that one as well, definitely.
Has your home game against Malden not been scheduled yet?
Yeah, like I say, I look at one game at a time, so I've not actually looked much past
Because
this
I
week.
was I was just literally looking at it. I see you got them away on the 10th of January, but according to football web pages, I can't see a home game against them.
I think they come out later on, don't they?
Yeah, web pages I think only goes up to sort of the end of
No,
February at the minute, is it?
oh, is it? Oh, yeah, yes, it does. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
So
I mean,
it's
in the
probably
last couple of months, they've not sorted it, I don't
because
think.
normally you get the full season on there.
Yeah.
hopefully that'll that'll be late in the season and us v them in a title game, hopefully.
James, what game do you look forward to?
The game I'm really looking forward the most is against Malden Tiptree because this is the team that we really want to beat, Malden Tiptree, because I know they're top of the league and most of the Isthmian fans are predicting Malden Tiptree to win the league. It hurts me to say, but when we play Malden Tiptree sometime in the season, we really want to win against Malden Tiptree because I think everybody wants to beat Malden Tiptree because we know that Malden Tiptree are challenging for the league, but I'm looking forward to it in this season against Malden Tiptree.
And Mark, did you definitely say your one was Swindon?
Yeah, that would be one because it's close to me, and one there's a good playing surface there. But like the other gaffer said, really, it's just I just look down to see who we get next week, and then as soon as you're walking off the pitch at 5 o'clock, you're thinking about your next game, really, or your next training session. So that's just the way I take it. We have to go to everywhere once, and then everyone has to come to us once. We just get on with it. You go to some places when the pitch is immaculate. You could go there the following season, the pitch could be not so great because of the weather and conditions, etc. So yeah, I just take it as it comes. Obviously, the Swindon Supermarine is quite special because it was my old club and it's just around the corner from me.
With the club, I mean, where was you sort of the plan for you this year? Was it playoffs or was it automatic this year?
No, the playoffs would be the plan. That would be the objective at the start of the season. Could we break into the playoffs? We just finished just outside last year. Recruitment was quite good for us in the summer. And as I say, I think our start would have been better without the injuries and the couple of suspensions. But, every club will get that at some stage throughout the season. I'm fully aware of that. And the football gods and all that kind of thing will shine on us at some stage, I'm sure. But yeah, I think we're 5 league games in, so we're not really talking about playoffs and everything else yet. We just need to get our house in order and just see where it takes us come January and February. But I'm still quite confident that's where we'll be come that time of the year.
Well, on this show, what we've done previous years, we've been on the road to Mousehole every week, and this year we're always on the road to Merthyr Town, and Craig's joined us again, coach down at Merthyr, and he looks more awake this week than I take it he was in bed before 4 o'clock today, mate.
No, I've bit of a cold and stuff, so I'm sneezing. Apologies, but we haven't had. It wasn't so late Saturday, so it's much better.
But literally another good win.
Yes, very good win. Very pleased Saturday because we come up against a team, as I think most teams are in this National League North. Team that plays very, very direct. And they were absolutely massive, every one of them. I mean, 3 centre forwards were all, I wouldn't even like to say how tall they were. And for 25 minutes maybe, start the game, they just bombarded us with long throw after long throw, free kick, corner, and just everything in the box, which in recent times has been a bit of a problem for us. But yeah, Saturday we dealt with it very, very well, and I managed to get 2 goals second half. Could have been 4 in the end, to be honest. But yeah, very, very pleasing because of the way we dealt with what has in the past been a weakness.
But of course, the one thing they didn't have that you've got is a certain man called Ricardo Reese.
Yes, he's on fire again. I was 101st goal for the club in something like 147 games, which is just incredible to be fair to him. So he's he was. I think people have asked will he be able to do it when we step up a league, and so far so good. I think he's answering all those critics who said he wouldn't be able to do it in a league above, and think that's something like 7 goals in 8 games now in the National League North. So yeah, long way to continue.
I mean, Kevin and Mark, would you love a striker that can score 101 goals in 147 games?
Yeah, absolutely. When I was at Chippenham, we had a lad you may well know called Andy Sandell. He was an ex-pro at Newport County in Forest Green. We had him and a lad called David Pratt who went to Wealdstone. The season we won the league, Sandell got 38 and Pratt got 31. So there's a good chance you're going to win the league when you've got that kind of firepower up front.
Yeah. Kev, or have you got?
Of course. Like I say, they're hard to find, and at the minute we're sharing the goals about at the minute, so it's not too bad. But yeah, everyone would love firepower who can score 20 plus goals a season for sure.
I mean, Craig. I mean, we've got these sort of step 2 sides, and you're doing really, really well. Now comes the banana skin at the weekend.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I think that weekend.
So you go then to start taking on
below and all those things, and yeah, look, we do a little run in the FA Cup again. I think it's 3 years ago we got the first round, and we got drawn against Buxton, who were in this league now, in similar league as us now. But at the time we were hoping we could have had Ipswich away, we could have had, I think it was Sheffield Wednesday at the time maybe, or those kind of sides. So we were all at the club waiting for a big sell at Derby County, and we drew Buxton. So we went out at the first round last, on that occasion. And then since then we haven't had a good run in the FA Cup. We lost to Sheffield United a couple of years back, who again were a couple of leagues below us. They went on to have a really good run and played Walsall at home in the next round. So we were disappointed with that. And last year we went out to the first stage away to Bath City. So yeah, it'd be nice to have a good run in the FA Cup this year. These boys were really keen to do it, but I know it's boring and it's what everybody says, but we will literally take each game as it comes. We won't underestimate them and all those things. And we'll see what happens Saturday. I don't put too much pressure on us now and say it'll be fine. But it's a fixture that we should be confident going into on our current form and the fact that they're 2-3 leagues below. But it never works out behind the FA Cup, so we're under no illusions.
How do you and Paul and the rest of the coaching team keep their sort of feet on the ground going into that? Because there might be, I'm not saying there would be, but it could be some players thinking it's just a matter of, as you said, just a matter of turning up and winning the game. So how is it a case of that Paul just doesn't sort of let it go?
No, listen, the manager, Paul is first class. His attention to detail is unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it in my life. It's first class. So he'll do his preparation properly and make sure players know I've got the information and what have you. But we're in for training tomorrow. We're in for training Thursday, and we'll do some analysis on the previous game, and we'll also do some analysis on the upcoming game. But what I'll say on that is, some of our players, until we do a meeting looking at the game coming up on Saturday, they're very young squad. They won't even know we're playing. They won't even know if it's League or FA Cup. They are that type of group where it's just another game of football. That's how they take every single game, where no matter who it is. So it's not that difficult to keep their feet on the ground right now, because they're I say, a little bit naive with it all and just happy to play football week in, week out. So yeah, like I said, we'll do our we'll have a meeting, do our analysis, our away team analysis, but yeah, that won't be the issue. That won't be the issue.
But no draws, because you don't want to go to Cornwall on a Tuesday night.
Absolutely not. No. We have had a discussion a few of us. Yeah, we don't need that. The Kings Lynn away and Macclesfield away then the following Tuesday. We certainly don't want to be in Cornwall on a Tuesday night. That's not on our list of things to do this season, to be honest.
But I mean, I spoke to the Wolverhampton Abbey manager. He said if they were successful, he'd love to play you at home.
Yeah, and for a lot of teams would, yeah. And we do have good support when we go away, and I think we're going to Chester in a couple of weeks now, and the club have put out recently that the second bus, second coach is being sold out currently. I think that's another 52 seater or something. So we looks like for Chester we'll be taking 2 coach loads away, plus we'll have a lot of people making on with their own trains and cars and God knows what. So sides I know clubs do like it when we go there and we put a lot of money behind the bar because the Mirth a lot do like a drink or two. We do tend to put money behind the bar for side, so these clubs do like us visiting there. But yeah, look, we won't look past this game, certainly not, because like I said, we've been done in the past where we've played a so-called weaker team and got punished for not being at our best. So we'll try and get a win Saturday, and then we'll take the next one from there. Then.
But you're still looking forward to your nice trip in the middle of March up to South Shields, yeah?
Yeah, can't wait. I was just 7.5 hours, I believe, on the bus at the South Shields, I think. So it's going to be an overnight stay on a Friday. We've got one coming up next month to, I believe, is Spennymoor away next month. So that'll be, I think, for that one we're going to stay possibly in a hotel in Leeds on the Friday. So we'll travel up. We'll be leaving around 3 o'clock on a Friday. And hoping everybody can get up to work in time to go travel up, stay the night, and then do the last hour and a half on the Saturday morning and do that. Yeah, I think it's 4 trips where we're gonna have to have overnight stays, but South Shields is that's a tough one. That I'm sure some of the boys will be planning on a 2 night stay where they can have a night out in Newcastle on the Saturday. Yeah. I think they'll have their priorities sorted for that one. Yeah, definitely.
Well, Mark's probably saying to you, he just hopes that what happened to him doesn't happen to you because he had an overnight stay down in Mousehole, and as he was telling us earlier on, and on the day of the game, he got called off.
Yeah, we've had that at Merthyr a few times. I know they've done Kings Lane a couple of times where they've been there and that happened. And I don't know if it was Truro the one year as well. The boys stayed down and then they got called off the Saturday morning. So yeah, I'm fingers crossed we don't get that scenario. Yeah.
I bet you wish you would have stayed over at Kings Lynn this time, wouldn't you?
Definitely, yeah. So for those who don't know, look, we went to Kings Lynn last Saturday, and our bus broke down on the way there. And I was from Kings Lynn, which is correct. What's that? 4.5, 5 hour trip. And it's the longest trip we do without an overnight stay. And the bus broke down. We got a fantastic bus that we use, kitchen on it and everything's on it. It's fantastic. But it broke down. I think it was an hour and 20 away from the ground. So the manager was on the side of the road outside the golf club ringing local bus companies to try and pick us up. Managed to get a school bus to pick us up. It's quite comical when you look back, but like the boys are off the bus on the side of the road. Some of them want to use the toilet, and we're outside a golf club. So our goalkeeper has started running up the hill to the golf club to go use the toilet, but it's like a mile up this steep hill. So 10 minutes later, he comes back down on the back of someone driving a golf buggy, back down. And then the other boys decided they wanted to go to the toilet, so they're on the back of the buggy going up and coming back down. The bus ended up, like I said, we'd managed to get. We're fortunate we managed to get a bus to Torbay. It was the school bus, so we're then on the school bus with boys having to get changed on the bus. Physio trying to do rub downs, but strap-ins on the boys on the bus on the way to Kings Lynn. So we got to Kings Lynn 3:05 for the 3 o'clock kickoff. Kicked off at 20 to 4. By the time we finished and everything, it was around, I think it was like 5:45 maybe by the time we finished showering and then we got told that the replacement bus wouldn't be with us till like much before 8 o'clock. So I didn't even get home. My parents live in Merthyr and I ended up staying there because it's 2.5 hours to my house. So I got to my parents' house at around 1:30 on the Sunday morning, and we left 8:15 on the Saturday morning. Yeah, and then the following Tuesday we were away to Macclesfield, and I got home on the Tuesday night at 5 to 4 from Macclesfield. So yeah, it's been a tough start. It's been a tough start in terms of the travel. Yeah, it's not been ideal.
But Ryan, I mean, have you ever had anything like that?
Oh, not like that. Definitely not trying to get a golf buggy to drive me hour and 20 minutes up the road. But no, I can't think of anything like that, to be honest. Been quite lucky in terms of that because, I mean, that your prep goes out the window, don't it? Your coach breaks down and you ring around bus companies, it's you got to try and keep the boys settled, you know what I mean? Make sure they're not using too much energy, things like that. So a lot comes into play when something like that happens, But first and foremost is probably getting back on the road. So, yeah, I don't envy him for that.
Yeah,
but it's tough. It's tough. Listen, all the players, managers, anyone involved in non-league, it's a slog. It ain't easy getting up for work the next day and doing what you do and having a life. It's real tough. A lot. It's probably not spoken about enough, but a lot of people getting home at stupid o'clock in the morning and still getting up like 2-3 hours later to go to work and doing a whole day at work the next day. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot that people are putting themselves through for it. So, but that's how much we love the game, you know. So we're willing to do that for it. So,
Kevin, ever had that happen to you?
No, I've been quite lucky. Never had any breakdowns. No, never come across it. So, fingers crossed. It stays that way, mate.
James, you've been to games. I mean, must have been to a few games with the boys and on your train travels and get there and the game's been called off.
Yeah, I remember back in like several seasons ago. I remember we played away to Ware FC. I think it was in the cup game, and I think it was in September 2016 when I was on the train to be on my way to Ware FC. But unfortunately, we got stuck about an hour and a half outside Seven Sisters Station because I was really hoping to get to the game. That was several seasons back, and I was been waiting for an hour and a half, and I was hoping to get there in time for the game, and unfortunately I couldn't make it because it would been held up outside Seven Sisters Station, but I didn't make it, so I had to travel back home because like I was gutted not to be there because I was like stuck on the train for an hour and a half, and then but it happens very rare, but it doesn't happen very often. But most of my train travels to the Whittam Town away matches it's been absolutely amazing, and I've been taking a few fellow Whittam Town supporters like Callum and Martin up on the train, and there's no problems with the train at all this season, and especially looking forward to the Whittam Town away match to Waltham Abbey, which we're looking forward to get the train, me, Callum and Martin, and we're looking forward to it.
Where'd you get the train to, James? Waltham Cross?
To get the train up to Stratford and then on another train to Waltham Cross. And Callum, who is the fellow Whittam Town supporter who I interview on the match days, he is brilliant with his train journey because I have inspired him on how to travel up on the train to the Whittam Town away matches. And we've got a few fellow Whittam Town supporters come on the train, like Callum and Martin and Ryan. And it is really nice to travel together to the Whittam Town away matches on the train because it would make the most of a fantastic Whittam Town away day. And but for longer Whittam Town away matches, sometimes we have a coach, but we mainly go up on the train to make the most of a fantastic Whittam Town away day. And we always enjoy it, win, lose or draw, and it's just making the most of a brilliant Whittam Town away day up on the train.
I mean, Mark, your Mousehole game, you got any like that?
When I was at Super Marine, we actually broke down on the way to Merthyr. I can remember that. And and the coach broke down, and we got actually picked up by the Welsh FA's coach, kitchens, etc., etc. So that softened the blow a little bit, and our coach was repaired. We went home back with that, but that's the only time I can really remember. But yeah, it's not an ideal situation. But I mean, most of the coaches are pretty well serviced and looked after nowadays. So yeah, it's been fine. As colleague there says, non-league football's tough sometimes. You get home at ridiculous hours, and lads have got families and wives and girlfriends, and still have to get up and go to work. And when you put your hourly rate, you finish up. Some lads can get more work in McDonald's. So. But like you say, it's for the love of the game, really, that these lads go and do it. So you have to take your hat off to them because, a lot of lads could sign for lesser clubs, but they'd sign for their said club, whatever the wage is, because they want to go and play at that level and they want to go and do the best they can. So, to me, it's all credit to the people that are involved in non-league football, and certainly to people like James who, give up their time to go and support the clubs and, sweep the terraces, do anything to get involved and help out. And, as you get older and players become more responsible, they appreciate that kind of support as well from everybody.
One last question before we go. I mean, does it surprise you sometimes when you look at your fixtures when they first come out that that the leagues don't physically look at saying if you're going to go to, I don't know, Craig just said he's going to Macclesfield or himself going down to Mousehole or whatever else, that the leagues don't look at those sort of fixtures and make sure, right, okay, we'll make sure that it's going to be, I know you can't guarantee, but right, okay, we'll make sure that Melsham Town go down to Mousel, but they're going to go down in September or late August or early April, and the same thing for Craig and Whittam going to Wroxham and stuff like that. Surely it would make sense if they try to put those fixtures in months where they know 9 times out of 10 the game's going to get played, rather than sticking them in November, December, January, February, when you've got that chance of a 7-hour journey to somewhere, if only for it to get called off.
Yeah, I think they should look at that really. But clearly they don't, because you could be going somewhere on a Tuesday night that's mad crazy. You could be going to, a local neighbour 20 minutes up the road on a Saturday. Well, you may as well be doing that on the Tuesday night, but that's the leagues for you. So as they previously said, you just have to get on with it and go where you're sent, really.
Kevin?
Yeah, the one for me is the cup weekend when schedule. So, for instance, we've got FA Cup this week. We've got FA Cup if we were to win this week in 2 weeks' time. But then the next round of the FA Cup would be when we're due to be home to South Shields. Now, if I saw South Shields win 2 games in the FA Cup, then South Shields are coming to us on a Tuesday night. Fortunately for them, they're full time, but there's not that many full time teams around. So, surely they can look at that and go for the first 3 rounds or whatever it might be of certain cups. We'll arrange it so that those teams will be playing somebody more local in case either one of them gets through. And like that, you have a good cup run and you get punished for it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. We were saying that earlier on. Waltham Abbey have got Galston at the weekend, and they should have been going to probably their furthest journey, Wroxham. So now they've got to go to Wroxham now, the furthest journey on a Tuesday night.
Yeah, I just think that's an easy one that they can look at and schedule that a little bit better. I understand the more local ones they want to do on your bank holidays and things like that for the bigger crowd. Totally understand that, and it's great that they can do that. But those earlier rounds in the FA Cup, FA Trophy, whatever it might be, I just think they can work that a little bit better as well and go the next lot of local teams who play there rather than the further ones. So you have to go there on a Tuesday night. It's just that's a big bugbear on mine, that one.
Would you agree, guys, at Wim?
Yeah, like I say, I think there should be a little bit of common sense from the leagues, but like I say, unfortunately, it's not. And like I say, you just get on with it and deal with it. And lucky for us, we've only Galston, Wroxham, Felixstowe, so it's not the worst, but yeah, like I say, we shouldn't be going up there on a Tuesday night when you can play on a Saturday. That's for sure.
Definitely those earlier games, Dave. Like Craig was just saying, like the early games of the FA Cup and the Trophy, like them games especially, because them games have got to be played before the pro teams comes in. So like effectively, like it or lump it, you got to play them games. So fixtures are going in where they're going in. So I think they could definitely look at the earlier ones and sort of say, right, okay, let's try and sort of keep them away from the earlier fixtures, so they're not going to be going in on a Tuesday night, or potentially going in on a Tuesday night if they have a good run, because effectively you do get punished for a good run.
Yeah, because you, as you said, you might have players that like yourselves or whatever, might be working, and then you're working, and it's like, well, sorry, boss, but I can't get get off, and all of a sudden you lose your 2 or 3 best players because they can't get off of work because you've got to go to Macclesfield on a Tuesday night or wherever else on a Tuesday night. You've got it's not fair because you get success, but you get it taken away from you because you've got to play teams that are miles away on a weekday. Well, listen, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on, Mark. First time speaking, it's been fantastic. So, really,
thanks for having me on. Appreciate that.
Speaker, wish you all the very, very best at the weekend, and of course also for the rest of the season as well. Whittam, wish you all the very, very best from Wednesday onwards, and hope it goes all right. But we'll see.
Don't forget, we're going to see you tomorrow night, Dave.
We'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow.
Your red will be in there somewhere.
We'll see you tomorrow night. And of course, Craig, it's always an absolute pleasure. Stay on because I've got something to ask you as well at the end as well. But a massive thank you for Craig with his time coming on as well. But we'll be back next week, and guests next week will be the guys from Great Wakering Rovers will join us next week. But from me and from the guys tonight, thank you for listening and good night.
See ya.